Yo, what up, guys? This is your boy Kofi with KO Sports Talk with my co-host Chuck Full Damage Miller.
What up?
Welcome to a new episode of KO Sports Hangout. It's been a while since we've done one.
Yes, sir.
Training camp has been beginning. Today is the 21st. I think it begins tomorrow, or when is it begin? Training camp? It begins today, right?
Yeah, the 19th. It actually started on the 19th for the Bears.
Oh, sorry, yeah, I already started on the 19th. But yeah, guys, we got a whole lot to talk about, especially with a lot of people hating on the Chicago Bears. And there of course there have been news reports, a lot of media speculation. I think it was PFF who did a report on some of the young quarterbacks. I'm going to say now they're not really rookies, but they kind of giving them like a high ceiling and like their low ceiling. And with a couple of them, particularly with Caleb Williams, they said his ceiling was a la Jordan Love, and his ceiling was a bust.
Floor. Yeah, his floor
was a bust. And then I think they gave Jaden Daniels his ceiling was, I think, Lamar Jackson, and his floor was Kyler Murray.
Right.
And then they had, this is so funny. Minnesota Vikings JJ McCarthy, his ceiling was Joe Burrow.
Really?
Now, I don't remember what his floor was. I think his floor was what was his floor?
I don't. Was it Daniel?
I don't remember, but I do remember that his ceiling was Joe Burrow, which is crazy.
Right.
And Drake May, they said his ceiling was Justin Herbert. And I think his floor
was Daniel Jones.
Yeah. So it's crazy, man. Like, and Chuck, we just got to address this whole rumor, bro. Like, we got to address it because I know you talked about it, and you wanted to do this podcast in order to address it. So
definitely,
we're here, man, and we're gonna address it. So how are you feeling about this, Chuck?
Well, let me address the audience first and say welcome out there in KO Sports Talk land. I'm Chuck Full Damage 1. I am the biggest Bears fan. That's me. That's my name on the cup. That's my team on the cup.
Completely decked
out. On the cup is for us to be Super Bowl champs. Welcome to another cast of KO Sports Talk. Those of you all that's out there checking us out, like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Check us out. Invite people. This is a live chat platform where we talk about the Bears and all things that pertain there too. Yeah, I just got tired of hearing the media constantly putting these badgerments on Caleb Williams as though Caleb Williams is some kind of bum. They talk about him like he had this horrible year, this horrible season last year. But when you go look at the numbers and compare them to the players that's out there, bro, you find out Caleb Williams' numbers were either on par or better than most of these
numbers right here.
Out here. And look at these numbers for what they were, people. Caleb Williams passed at a 62.5% completion clip for a 351 out of 562 passes. That's 62%. Not the greatest numbers in the world, but not bad. These are solid numbers. The man passed for 3,500 yards. Over 3,500 yards. He threw 20 touchdowns to only 6. Count them, people. 6 interceptions.
What's up, Coleman?
What's up, Coleman? and he was sacked at an alarming 68. What's up, Theo? What's good, nephew? Yeah, and he was sacked at an alarming 68 time rate. But that was not just solely because Caleb Williams was having a bad year and he was playing terrible. A lot of that had to do with this porous offensive line that Ryan Poles called himself building and putting in front of this kid, man. Plus, you're talking about a kid in his rookie season only giving you 6 interceptions. Bro, I could name a whole plethora of quarterbacks that were Pro Bowl caliber, that took teams to the playoffs, that did all these great, outstanding things in the season, who didn't have less than the amount of interceptions that Caleb Williams do. All these guys do more interceptions than him. But the media wants me to believe, ESPN in particular wants me to believe that Caleb Williams is a boom or bust option this year. That this guy's ceiling is Jordan Love or a complete bust. The number one overall pick in the draft. Now, granted, he didn't have
Jonas.
Yeah. What's up, Jonas? He didn't have the year that Jaden Daniels had. Jaden Daniels played phenomenal. I'm taking absolutely nothing away from none of the rookie QBs that was out there. I'm not taking away nothing from Drake May. I'm not going to take anything away from Jaden Daniels. I'm not going to take anything from Bo Nix. Those guys played great for what they were out there for their teams. I don't have a problem with them. What I'm not going to do is constantly sit here and let the media keep badgering this kid like he just had this struggle season. What struggle season are you looking at? If I was to compare him to some of the quarterbacks that's out here, his numbers are comparable or even better. Go look at Drake May's numbers. Drake May made the Pro Bowl, bro. But Drake May only threw for 2,200 passing yards. He had 15 TDs and he had 10 interceptions. But I'm supposed to believe Drake May is Pro Bowl worthy with those numbers on a team that didn't make the playoffs, by the way, people. That team
had a worse record.
Right. But I'm supposed to believe Drake May had a better season than Caleb Williams, who threw for darn near 4,000 yards. He was less than 500 yards short.
And he only played like half the season, too.
Right. You said again?
He only played like, he only played like what, 10 games? Drake May? How many games did he play? 10 games?
I'm not exactly sure what all Drake May played. I just know that when I look at Caleb Williams' numbers, I do not see a rookie QB that struggled. People, do y'all understand that the Bears took, 12 losses on them last year? Do you understand that there's not one game that you can look at where you can say, not one game where you can say, Caleb Williams cost us that game? That ain't one. Go look at all of those losses that the Bears took, and I promise you, you can't show me on film where Caleb Williams had a timely interception. He had a bad decision, a pass or something that cost the Bears the game. That he took a sack at the worst possible time. He fumbled the ball, and that ended the game. You can't look on film and see any of those flaws. Now, he did have these alarming number of sacks, and we tend to bring all of that down. But I'm putting all of that in the lap of Ryan Poles. How are you going to tell me that you're expecting a kid to operate at the highest level possible, produce a Super Bowl caliber team, a Super Bowl caliber offense on this team when you have a porous offensive line in front of him that's out here getting this kid killed day in and day out? He said Caleb was great last year. He just coach, and that's exactly what happened. That's exactly
what happened.
For whatever reason,
time management was terrible.
For whatever reason, it's something about when a player gets in the Chicago Bears uniform that all of a sudden makes the media just think the worst of them. Caleb Williams, before he got drafted by the Bears, was touted as the next Patrick Mahomes. Y'all remember that, people?
Yeah, he was the consensus number one pick.
He was the second coming of Mahomes. He was Mahomes 2.0. You had people like Nick Wright out here, which I thought was ridiculous. You had people like Nick Wright.
They're going to go to the Super Bowl. Like, come on,
win the Super Bowl in his rookie season. How do we go from Caleb being that guy to all of a sudden Caleb is this guy now? He's a bust. He's terrible. He got less interceptions than more than half this league, but the man's a bust. Are you kidding me? And then I heard some people say that, Caleb Williams, he was scared to throw the ball deep and all this here. He wasn't letting the ball go deep. I don't know what Caleb Williams they was watching, bro. But I watched this man throwing the ball deep, and he did it with pinpoint accuracy. He was hitting people on the numbers. The Detroit Lions knows that he goes deep.
He threw with a lot of conviction. A lot of the balls he threw was with a lot of conviction.
Yes, a lot of teams that knows that he throws deep. Now, one of the few teams that didn't see him throw deep was the Green Bay Packers, but the Green Bay Packers, they played 30 yards off the line of scrimmage, so you can't throw deep on them. You know what I mean? You gotta go short and underneath with a team that's playing like that.
And he threw some deep balls to Minnesota. I mean, because Minnesota, of course, they blitz a lot, and so
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. If you're going to blitz, of course you're going to be throwing over the top because a lot of those guys are blitzing.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, but I'm just really tired of the narrative that the media is putting out here. Caleb Williams struggled. Where in these numbers do you see struggle? Show me struggle in these numbers. 62.5% completion rate, 3,500 over 3,500 passing yards in a Chicago Bears uniform.
The only struggle I see is that offensive line, bro. That's
and
that
that's where
offensive
those
line.
sacks come in at right there, brother. That's the only stat. When you look on this screen, that's the only stat that you can look at where you can say this is where the struggle came in at for Caleb Williams. But even with that, this dude was making magic happen, bro. Off platform throwing, he's unconscionable when it comes to that. And he even started running better, bro. When he realized this offensive line wasn't going to hold up enough for him to go through his five progressions, because he's not a 1-2 read option quarterback. He is a 5 progression quarterback. This is a guy that stands back there and he goes through the entire progression on the field. When he realized it wasn't going to hold up and he started running, Caleb Williams was darn near impossible to bring down when he was running.
And when he had a clean pocket, he had a high passer rating.
Exactly.
I think his pass rating was like 125.
So somebody help me out there. Help me out there in KO Sports Talk land. Help me out there. Help me see where the struggle, quote unquote, came with Caleb Williams. Show me where the bust potential is at in this dude, man. I don't see it. I do not see bust potential in Caleb Williams. That guy looks phenomenal. I was talking with some buddies of mine earlier today in a video chat, and I was explaining to them that Caleb Williams gives me he gives me vibes of a great QB play that I've never seen before. Usually they teach it in QB 101 school, people. For those of you all that are football aficionados, QB 101 school, they teach QBs to send receivers in motion so that they can figure out what type of defense that they're running up against. So if you send a receiver in motion, the school of thumb that's taught is that if a receiver goes in motion and the man that's covering him on defense goes with him, then the defense is in man-to-man coverage. Okay, but if QB goes in motion and the defender that's covering him doesn't go but switches him off to another man where somebody else picks him up on the other side of the field, then the defense is in zone. That is the rule of thumb when it comes to QB. Caleb Williams was showing, and this is in game film. This is him talking about it, him talking about breakdown and what he saw in plays. Caleb Williams was showing that in certain plays, this guy can read a defense and tell you what they're in without even sending anybody in motion. Where do they do that at, bro? That is incredible to me, that this guy can just look at the setup of the defense. He doesn't need to send a man in motion. He doesn't need to figure out whether it's zone or man to know what's happening. The dude he didn't have to move nobody, and he's telling you when he does film breakdown. And it's not something I'm just saying, people. This is something that Caleb Williams has broke down himself. He's telling you that when he's in film breakdown, this is what I saw, and this lets me know that they're in man. This let me know that they were in zone. He never sent a man in motion to make them decisions, to realize what they were in.
No,
that tells me that Caleb Williams' IQ for dissecting defense.
And he always had to change the plays at the line of scrimmage because Shane Waldron was always running, like he always ran like a questionable play. He did some questionable play calling.
And so, Caleb Williams, his IQ to me is off the charts in terms of his comprehension of what's in front of him, his ability to read a defense and know how to dissect it, and his decision making. These numbers, people, look at these numbers for what they were. Do you know Caleb Williams had a stretch this year where he went like 9 games where he didn't throw give a turnover up, he didn't give up an interception or a fumble? Do y'all know in his last
just a turnover period?
What was his last 6 or 7 games? Caleb Williams had 11 touchdowns to 1 interception, people. Listen to that. Does that sound like a bust material type of quarterback, a potential bust type quarterback to you? Where in this NFL do you see a rookie QB who dissects a defense so well that he's not throwing any interceptions. He's not giving up any turnover. As outstanding as Jaden Daniels was last year, and I love Jaden Daniels. I got nothing bad to say about him. Jaden Daniels was still having turnovers occasionally, bro. Jaden Daniels was giving the ball up occasionally. Whether it was in a fumble or whether it was a misreading through an interception, it happens. That's no stain on Jaden Daniels at all. What I'm telling you is the Bears have a quarterback with an excellent IQ. We're talking Peyton Manning-esque type IQ here, bro. We're talking Tom Brady-ish when you're talking about somebody who can read and dissect a defense like that. Now, I know all the naysayers is going, Peyton Manning, you're comparing him to Peyton. Now we got Tom Brady. Now he this, now he that. You can say all that you want to. Proof is going to be in the pudding this year. You'll see with this Ben Johnson-led offense, with this outstanding offensive line, which ESPN, they did get right, at least on their ratings. They rated this offensive line as what, top 15?
Like 15th, right?
Yeah, they rated them at top 15 now. With the protection that he needs and all the weaponry that he's got, sky's the limit for what Caleb can accomplish with this offense. I'm more concerned at this point about what our defense is going to produce than I am our offense, bro. Real talk. Because I do believe I got no doubt in my mind, without a shadow of a doubt, our offense is in good hands with Caleb Williams. And that's what I got. People, let me know what y'all think about that. Let me know what y'all
speaking think. like what we talked about earlier, well, I was saying to you earlier, I'm not too sure if you guys watch the Netflix special quarterback, and one particular segment that kind of popped up is like the coaching and like a lot of the players memorizing a lot of the playbooks, and one particular segment, we were talking about Ben Johnson and Jared Goff, and how beneficial Ben Johnson was to Jared Goff, and his play since him being, with the Detroit Lions, and particularly, with him, trying to understanding blitz pressure, and even, with Brian Flores's defense, and people just don't understand how important it is with coaching, and how big of a difference it was, for Jared Goff, and how he played, even prior to him, Sean McVay, coming over there, Jeff Fisher, of course you all remember his first year, he played terribly. He was terrible.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about bust, Jared Goff should have been a bust his first year, you know what I'm saying? But the fact that he was able to get, Sean McVay, and how that really changed his play, and that kind of limited him. But with Ben Johnson, he really took his game to a whole nother level. He played at MVP level. Last season, to me, I think was one of his best seasons he's ever had, in my opinion. If you look at the numbers, I mean, it supports it. And in terms of like QB wins, this was his best season number. Lions had so many franchise records, broke so many franchise records. And I think Ben Johnson was a big part of it, especially with the development with the whole team, with how they played, the types of plays that they ran, especially with the stumble bumble, how he came up with that whole play. He took that play, of course, from
that was brilliant, bro. I'm not gonna lie, man. That was brilliant.
Yeah, he took that play from Green Bay when initially when Jordan Love actually initially fumbled the
play
ball.
That was not a play. You mean that play?
Yeah.
That wasn't really a play. That just happened.
It just happened. He made it into a play. Right. And when I was watching the series, Jared Goff was talking about certain types of plays that they ran. There was like this one particular play where I forgot what it was called, but pretty much what it was is that he hikes the ball, he gives the ball, and then it's like it runs like a motion. It's like a motion set. So pretty much it's like the wide receiver comes around, motions around, he gives the ball to the wide receiver, and then the wide receiver gives the ball to Montgomery, and Montgomery makes the pass. I forgot the name of the play, but like
Okay.
certain plays like that, man, it's like how creative Ben Johnson is, and how if you have good coaching, like it can make a whole team flourish, you know. And Caleb Williams, he didn't have that type of coaching last year. He didn't have that type of coaching last year. I mean, you even read like there were reports about like how he at times he had to learn the playbook on his own. Like his coaches would not be with him watching tape, and he had to learn a lot of the stuff on his own as a rookie. You know, it's because when you're transitioning from the college level to the pro level, it's completely different. And so for him to learn all this stuff on his own and put the production that you see up here is a testament to how resilient this kid is, and you know, and getting sacked 68 times. And some of the sacks he did account for. Yeah, he's got to take a little bit big care, being more
but even with those, Coach, let me say this, bro. You know, I've heard a lot of people say Caleb was responsible for a lot of those sacks, and Caleb had his hand in some of those sacks that he took. Absolutely, he did. But do you really want to penalize a rookie quarterback for trying to make a play when he sees the team is struggling? Is that what we're doing? Is that what we're doing? We're going to penalize him just because the man showed enough gumption to really think if given himself enough time, he can make something happen to help the team win. I'm not going to penalize him for trying to do something. You know, he's not the Jerry Goff type who, if the play breaks down and the management end of it is gone, now all of a sudden there's absolutely nothing that you can expect from him. This is an Action Jackson type of guy. You talk about a guy who is probably going to go down in history as the best all-platform passer the game has ever seen, bro. When it's all said and done, Caleb Williams is on that level when it comes to throwing on the run, throwing on the move, making something happen when nothing there is happening. So you can't penalize a guy for trying to do what he's good at doing when he sees something falling apart right before him. But this is what we want to do. Only because he's in this Bears uniform, because he got this on him. He's got this bear, on him.
He got the Chicago Bears uniform on.
He's got the C.
He got this uniform on, right?
Right. This is the only reason you guys are criticizing him. If he was in anybody else's uniform, any other team's uniform, doing what he's doing, we would be talking about him like they talk about Drake May. Like they talk like Drake May.
How they talk about Jaden Daniels.
Season, bro. What Jaden Daniels went to the NFC Championship game, so I understand the praise that you're giving him. But what did Drake May do that was so spectacular? Help me understand. He started playing better on the back end of his rookie season. That's what you expect your rookie quarterback to do, people. Last time I checked, you expect him to catch up to speed at some point and start figuring it out. And Drake May did that. I'm not taking nothing away from him, but come on, bro. You're gonna tell me that Caleb Williams is potentially a bust, as he's on the downsides, on the side of being a bust because the Bears won 5 games? Like all of that was his fault. Like this is not a team sport. Like everybody else on the field have nothing else to do with that. Like Tyreek Stevenson talking crazy to the fans when a Hail Mary was going up didn't have anything.
Or do you remember that Indianapolis Colts game when all those linemen fell all the way down?
Yeah. You take T.O. to tell you about that.
I don't know if you remember. Did you watch?
I definitely remember. You take T.O. to tell you about that.
Windy City Breeze made fun of them. They're like saying they remind them of this R&B group. What'd you call it? In my room.
Really?
In my room. My.
Yeah, it take Real Street Sports Talk to talk about that one.
Oh, that was funny.
You got pictures of it and everything, bro. Hey, Real Street Sports. If you out there, bro, put that picture in there. I don't know if you can do it.
I don't know if I can. I gotta find it.
Or send it in the email. Do that, bro. So what Coach talking about can be seen by the people. But yeah, this is what Caleb was up against. Ryan Poles misjudged his ability to read and figure out what.
Here it is.
Did he send it to you?
I'm gonna pull it up. I got the.
Yeah, Ryan Poles misjudged his ability to read and figure out what was necessary, what the need was that was necessary to have on offensive line. He figured he could throw anybody out there And Caleb Williams was just so spectacular. He's just going to overcome all the flaws. The way his numbers overcame the flaws, but you can't expect this kid to win. And this is a run play. What was that, like 4th and goal or something?
Yeah, it was like I think 4th and 2, 4th
and goal from the 1, actually.
Yeah, from the 1, yeah.
And that's this terrible. Was the play call that we ended up with. And this was the coverage and the protection that we ended up with. And this is just outstanding. Shane Waldron, great play call. Outstanding. Yeah, as fast as DeAndre Swift is, nobody fast enough to get around.
And they ain't stopping all those. He ain't gonna be fast enough all those 5 guys to get to the goal line. Heck no.
That's a 1-on-5 fast break. That's what that is.
Oh yeah.
It usually doesn't work out in your favor when you're on the offense. My. See, we can laugh at our team's flaws. People.
I know, right?
we can laugh at that. But yeah, you know, at some points, the Bears brass had to wake up and they had to smell the coffee and realize they were just as much culpable to Caleb Williams' failures as Caleb Williams as they want to make Caleb Williams be. But bro, let me tell you something. I've been watching this dude I watched this dude for a whole season. And let me tell you something. There is nothing in Caleb Williams that tells me I should be concerned about him being the Bears quarterback. I didn't have no I don't know moments looking at Caleb Williams. You know how you get the moments, people? You say, I don't know. I'm not so sure. I never had one of those with Caleb Williams all season long. Man played 17 games. And in the 17 games he played, I was not questioning him or terrified at any of his decision making. You talking about a dude that by game 3 of the season, he had 3 interceptions. He only gave you 3 interceptions the rest of the way, people. Mm-hmm. Listen to that. For the next 14 games, you only got 3 interceptions out of this dude, bro. Mm-hmm. He's not fumbling the ball at an alarming rate, and he runs particularly well. Now, that was the place that I was most concerned, Cole. I wasn't sure how well he was going to run, especially after us seeing the spectacular running ability of Justin Fields for 3 years in this town. So I'm thinking, man, no way he's going to be able to run like that.
Especially if you don't slide well. If you don't slide well, yeah, them defenders can.
No, he doesn't run like Justin Fields. He's not fast. He's not big. He's not strong. He's not doing all that. But what he is very, very elusive. That dude breaks ankles when he is running, man. Caleb Williams knows how to run the ball. And when he started running the ball for the fear of his life, because he's seen that my episode.
Yeah.
So he's seen that.
Hold on, let me pull it back up. He saw this.
Once he realized that's what he was up against, Caleb said, hell no, we got to run, bro. And once he started running, things started to slow down for him. He started to catch up to speed, and then he could throw his touchdown passes. He could make his off-platform throws. He could keep drives alive. That's what this dude was doing. Tell me the dude on 4. The Vikings defense was a torture and a torment to a lot of teams last year. You're talking about a team that won 14 games. That dude on 4th and 4 with that defense coming at him, not only did he pick the defense apart, but when the pressure was coming, he broke it down with his feet, jumped over a man, and ran on 4th and 4 for a first down. Yeah. This is not incompetent QB play. An incompetent QB would have done the same thing that Will Levis did in week 1 against us when he was about to take that. And he took the ball and put it in his left hand, which he is right-handed, and flung it up. And
whatever New Orleans Saints quarterback, whatever quarterback the New Orleans Saints quarterback is in that place.
That Tyler Scowl dude or whatever, man.
Whatever. Man, bro, the Saints, they're in really bad shape. The Saints.
I think, and it's just my prediction, my hot take. I'm gonna call it a hot take. I think Caleb Williams, if he gets off on the right foot, him and Ben Johnson get off on the right foot, and I don't see no reason why they shouldn't. I think Caleb Williams could be in the MVP conversations this year, bro. I honestly believe that, bro. I believe this dude is going to put up spectacular numbers this year, I wouldn't be surprised if Caleb Williams one day, not this season, but maybe one day, I wouldn't be surprised if he becomes the first QB to ever play an entire season without a turnover. It would surprise me with the way this guy plays, man. He's got that capability, people. But I honestly think if he hits the ground running with Ben Johnson's offensive game plan, I honestly think that this guy is going to be in the MVP voting, bro. I think he's gonna shoot up that ladder. He's gonna shoot up that ladder. You don't go from being Patrick Mahomes comparable and Super Bowl comparable in your rookie season to all of a sudden now you Jordan Love, right? That's ridiculous, bro.
And a bust.
And the bust part, not the Jordan Love part. I'm fine with the Jordan Love comparison. I have a problem with you calling him a potential bust. Where is that coming from? Caleb Williams and bust? Them two words on them two don't even go in the same sentence, bro. I don't know how they see that, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And also, I'm not too sure if you're also being aware. Of course, all the rookies have signed their contracts already. So I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And then
even the nine UDFAs,
even the 9 UDFAs. But I think Luther Burden, he's the first, if I'm not mistaken, second round rookie to get a fully guaranteed contract worth $10.9 million guaranteed on his contract.
He's definitely not the first second round rookie to ever get that. He's the first. What was he number 39th pick? He's the first pick that low in the second round to ever get it fully guaranteed. Guaranteed money. Because Jaden Higgins, he got the ball rolling with the Houston Texans with a fully guaranteed contract. And he was picked higher in the draft in the second round. Yeah, but definitely for his positioning, he definitely was the first to ever do what he's doing. People, I would like to know y'all thoughts out there in KO Sports Talk, man. What are y'all predictions for Caleb Williams this year? Is he Jordan Love or a bust in your mind? Or is Caleb Williams a potentially Patrick Mahomes type of QB? How do y'all see him? Put it in the comments, people. Let's talk about it. We got a little more time on the cast. I would love to hear everybody's input. Jonas, what you think, bro? What you think, Jonas? What you think about Caleb Williams? Is Caleb Williams pie in the sky's the limit type of QB to you, or is he a potential bust that the Bears just missed on? How do you see it? Theo, get in here, bro. Let me hear what you got to say. Real Street Sports Talk. Let me hear you, bro. Ray Pitts. All you people, man, get in here. Let me hear y'all talk. Come on, Big B. Brian, aka
for sure. So moving on to the next topic, of course, with training camp and what's going on. I mean, there's going to be like a whole lot of battles. We're going to have the left tackle battle that's going to be going on, and then of course we're going to have I'm pretty sure the tight end and picking even a third linebacker. We don't know who's going to be our third linebacker, because Jack Sanborn is going, he's going to the Dallas Cowboys, But
you said we don't know who our third linebacker is going to be?
Huh?
You said that, bro?
Yeah.
Oh, so Ruben Hippolyte, he not there. Noah Sewell, he not here. Right? These dudes just not here.
Yeah, I'm saying there's gonna be a battle like between those guys, like Noah Sewell. It's gonna be I'm saying it's gonna be like competition, and all that.
You sure about that? You sure about that, bro? I don't think it's a competition, bro. I think Hippolyte got that going away, bro. The dude is too fast. He's too strong. He's too smart, and he's healthy. Noah can't stay healthy. That's a problem, bro.
Right.
I mean, just my humble opinion, Go. I'm just saying, bro. But I don't really think that we really have an issue at that position, to be honest with you. Now, we thin at the position. Yeah, we thin. The Deo dude, I think he's going to have to move around quite a bit, in spots that we got. The guy we got from the Indianapolis Colts, we signed him.
Deo Odeyingbo, yeah.
Yeah. So I can see him moving over there occasionally to, fill in and help out over there. But I don't think we really, in terms of the starter, I think Hippolyte's winning that, bro. I think he's winning that, bro. And I don't think it's close. Noah Sewell, he's got something to prove to me, bro. He's been in 2 years. This is going on his 3rd year, and I've yet to see anything out of him, bro. Well, he was injured most of his 1st year. So, I think like 2nd game of the season or something, he got injured. And then last year, he didn't do nothing.
What do you think about the left tackle position?
I think Braxton Jones is in a heap of trouble, brother. I think that's what's going on over there. Braxton Jones
showed me that he lost weight, that he lost like 10 pounds, or 20 pounds. That he got down to like 305.
I mean, I don't know what that does for us,
Yeah,
he lost 10 pounds. Woo-hoo. But you need your left tackle to be a big, hulking type figure who is a wall to get through. Braxton Jones did show me last year that he has the ability and the foot speed to pull on run plays, and I was really impressed with how he pulled in front of DeAndre Swift in quite a few games to bust him open for long runs down the field. But outside of that, bro, that's not what you bring a left tackle to the team for. You bring a left tackle to the team to protect the QB's blind side, and Braxton Jones has done a porous job of doing that, bro. And personally, I just think the handwriting's on the wall for him. I love that we got Kyron Amegaji and Ozzy Trapilo in here to compete with him for that position. I love it. I love it. I love it. Those guys are either going to push him to greatness or you're going to push him out the way, bro. Either way, right. Either way, this is make or break time for Braxton Jones. I don't know. Ryan Poles seems to have this love affair with the pick pieces that he picks.
See, that's the thing I don't like about Ryan Poles is like he has this affinity with some of his draft picks. Like sometimes you just got to be calculated. Like
right,
you got to be real calculated when it comes to making decisions. Even the picks that you pick, some of your draft picks, man. I mean.
And I know there are people out there. There's some Bears fans out there, and some
like Dominique Robinson. Like, why is he still on the team?
Oh my God! I swear you stole my thunder, bro.
Or even what's his name?
The
other guy, the 3rd round pick.
I promise you, bro. I just said that this morning in the group chat. Fellas, get in here and tell this man what I just said. I don't understand why Dominique Robinson is still donning a Bears uniform. I know what it is. He's the best practicing defensive player that we've ever had. Because he can't get on the field, people. He's great in practice.
And if he does get on the field, he can't. He doesn't do nothing.
He's got to be doing something great.
Non-existent.
He's got to be doing something great in practice because all the Bears coaches, regardless of who they are, when they get here, they all fall in love with him. Ben Johnson was talking about him. Like, yeah, I was really impressed. They asked him in the press conference, who impressed you so far, in the OTAs. He said, with Dominique Robinson. And I'm like, why, Ben? Why?
Why'd you have to mention him? Right.
This guy has done absolutely nothing in a Bears uniform. People, he's been here for 3, now going on 4 years, count it, and the man has 1 sack in his entire time here in Chicago. 1 in 3 years. Explain to me how you're keeping a job. I don't know how you keeping a job. Grocery store baggers can't keep a job, bro. If they can't bag more than 1 bag in 3 years, bro. Come on now, what we doing? Nobody keeps their job. What are we doing, bro? So yeah, we got this guy, and the Bears just seem to be in love with him. And let me say this, getting back to Braxton Jones. I know there are Bears fans out there who will say, Braxton Jones was ranked 24th out of all of the offensive linemen that's out there. People, if we're ranking him 24th out of all of the left tackles that's out here, it's only 32 that's starting in the league. That's not a good measurement. That's not a good stat, people. He's too far down on this list. He's too far down on this list. And when all players got to do is bum rush through your chest, and you're supposed to be a wall to get to your QB, and they're doing it with impunity, they're doing it, they're having success doing this, guess what, people? You're not good at your job. Time to move around. I want to see what Kyron Amegaji does. And ultimately, just a hot take here, I think Ozzy Trapilo ends up winning that position, bro. I just think that dude is going to be tougher in the trenches than the other guys that we got. Now, I think Kyron Amegaji definitely is going to be a force to be reckoned with once he gets his sea legs under him, but he's rough around the edges. He's not as polished as a kid from like Ozzy Trapillo, who coming out of Boston College, who does nothing but breed offensive linemen. This is what they do. They breed offensive linemen.
Yeah, because I think Karan coming out of college, he was more of a raw prospect, and like he was kind of
came out of Yale, bro. He came from Yale.
Yeah.
And of course, he's coming back. Yale is not known for
he's coming back from, I think, a shoulder injury or something.
Right. Yale is not known for football, brother. That's not. It's not what Yale is known for, bro. It's going to be interesting, but I do believe the handwriting's on the wall for Braxton Jones, bro. I think his goose is just about cooked. Unless he comes in and something drastically changes with him being able to handle a bull rush this season, I just don't see him. I don't see the Bears extending him. What's this, his last year of his rookie contract? The 4-year contract. It's the last year, bro. I think he's done.
And you know them tackles, they get paid a lot of money.
Yeah. And who wants to pay a guy who's 24th, 25th in the league at his position a lot of money like he's one of the best in the league? No, we're not doing that.
And speaking of offensive linemen, that contract with Joe Thuney is looking real nice. I'm pretty sure you heard the Kansas City Chiefs signed
Trey Smith, the other guy we were trying to get.
That deal.
Yeah, made him the highest paid offensive lineman in the league.
Yep.
That is nasty work, bro. That is nasty work.
Details of his contract. It's it's a 4-year deal totaling $93 million. No, I'm sorry. It's 4-year, $94 million contract, and his annual average salary is $23.5 million, making him the highest NFL guard in the league. Highest, highest paid interior lineman in league history.
The only downside for us in that, and the biggest benefit for the Kansas City Chiefs, is we got Joe Thuney with all of the experience and all of the numbers and all of the Pro Bowls and the Super Bowls, but we got him at an old age. Whereas they kept Trey Smith, and he's much younger. And he's got, fresher legs and what have you at that position. So if there's a downside, and people, I'm just reaching at straws when I say this, because Joe Thuney is still playing at an extremely high level. But if there's a downside, is that we got Thuney on the back end of his career, whereas they're keeping Trey Smith on the front end of his career. Yeah. But that's definitely the Brian Poles did not make a mistake bringing in Joe Thuney, bro. This is not a mistake bringing him.
He's the best guard right now in the league. He was an All-Pro last year.
Yeah, you need veteran leadership on this offensive line, and he definitely brings that. Then you bring in Jonah Jackson along with him.
He's going to be right next to Darnell Wright, and I think that's really going to help Darnell Wright. Take
absolutely. It's going to take some pressure off of him because Darnell Wright, he's progressing, but he's still learning, and he also was in a position where he wasn't getting any help, bro. He wasn't getting any help,
Joe Thuney is like the Kyle Tucker to the Bears. How Kyle Tucker is to the Cubs.
I don't know. Okay. Now she's going, okay, I will leave that right there. But I think we really shored it up with bringing Drew Dahlman in the center mass of that, bro. That center, that interior is going to be a beast in front of Caleb Williams. Caleb's going to have plenty of time to read the defense and dissect and throw down the field this season, bro. I believe that, bro. I believe that.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. I was also going to talk about the tight end battle and training camp as well. What do you think about that? Of course, with the Loveland pick, with them picking 12.
We got one of those? A tight end battle? We got one?
Yeah.
I'm going to let you finish. Go ahead, bro.
I'm just reading it from an article. The battle is more like the running back situation than a true competition. Johnson was known to run plenty of 12 personnel, meaning Colston, Loveland, and Cole Kmet will share the field quite often. However, in non-2 tight end sets, only one tight end will see the field more. With Loveland being the number 10 overall pick, Johnson has major plans in his offense for him. The Bears were enamored with his pass catching ability. The head coach will look for ways to use his athleticism, but Loveland has been able to practice as he recovers from off-season shoulder surgery. He's expected to make his return at some point in training camp, but he will have a lot of catching up to do, especially with Johnson running a dynamic offense. In turn, for all the hype Loveland received, he caught 258 passes, 2,592 yards, and 19 touchdowns over his this is for Komet. Okay. He caught 258 passes for 2,592 yards and 19 touchdowns. He should be a force in short to intermediate games as well as the red zone. Johnson has already committed to him to having a large role in this offense. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be a battle, bro. Cole Kmet, when it comes to the two tight ends, when it's just one on that field, I think it's going to be Cole Kmet, and that more so because Colston Loveland, is still a rookie. He's still coming back from injury. I just don't see Ben Johnson using him as your prototypical type of tight end. It's going to be more of a hybrid player, I believe, out of the 12 personnel. I can see Ben Johnson lining him up in a two tight end set and then having Caleb put him in motion, so lining up in a slot.
I can see Loveland being like a decoy.
Yeah. Colston Loveland is going to be a gadget kind of player, more
gadget type of player, yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of wrinkles I can see the Bears running when Colston Loveland is out there. But I think
but please don't use him for blocking because he does not know how to block. Colston Loveland is not a good tight end blocker.
And neither is Cole Kmet. Neither of them is really good at the blocking.
Cole Kmet is better than him. So
Cole Kmet just has more experience at attempting it. He does. I'm not going to say he's that great at it, bro. But that being said, you don't bring a Cole Kmet and a Colston Loveland in for blocking purposes. That's not what they're here for, bro. You got who is that? Grandpa, number 84. What's his name? I'm finishing calling.
Oh, Marvin Mercedes Lewis.
Mercedes Lewis. You bring him in for blocking. He's like an sixth offensive lineman, if you will, when he's out there. But no, nah, bro. These dudes are down the field threats. They have great hands. They're big and physical. They're strong. They can go deep for you. I mean, it's just too many ways you can use these guys. And with a Ben Johnson type of mind and a Caleb Williams type of skill set at the QB position, sky's the limit for what this team can do, bro. With that set. But no, we don't have a competition, bro. It's not a competition. Not a competition. He's going to figure out a way to get both of them out there, and they're going to have a split 50% of the share on both sides when it's all said and done with Ben Johnson, bro. Yeah. But I think if there is a one tight end set that he runs at some point, I think Cole Kmet will be on the field. It just makes sense. He's the bigger of the two, bro. The bigger and more imposing figure of the two. Colston Loveland is built like a receiver.
Right. And also, I'm pretty sure you also heard about. I mean, we already heard about this, but Ryan Poles getting that 3-year contract extension that's gonna tie him to Ben Johnson for the next 5 years. His contract is gonna go all the way up until 2029. I want to get your thoughts about that too. With Ryan Poles being tied at the hip, with Ben Johnson for the next 5 years.
I love it. Let me give a hand clap to the Chicago Bears organization. Congratulations. Y'all finally did something right when it comes to these PR moves in the organization. If you're going to let the GM bring the coach in, then you keep the coach and the GM together. Enough with the lame duck stuff. You hire a coach, you fire a GM. You bring in a QB, you fire a coach. You bring in a new GM, you release the quarterback. That is lame duck stuff all around the board. And finally, the Bears have gotten out of that cycle. I love us re-signing Ryan Poles. I do believe Ryan Poles is good for this organization. I don't think he has all the answers as the general manager, but I think he's made some very sound decisions. I would say about 70% of his decisions have been very good ones. Some of them suspect, You know, I didn't like us. It didn't work out. At least I should say I did like it,
especially with that trading for that one
Chase,
trade that we made.
yeah, Chase Claypool. That
Chase Claypool,
didn't
that was a
pan
bad
out.
trade.
Nate Davis signing him, that was a horrible signing.
That was a horrible signing.
Even Velus Jones, beyond measure for whatever reason, was terrible. What's his name? Demarcus Robinson still being on the team. Oh, I can't speak on that because he still is.
Zach Pickens still being on the team too.
Yeah, well, I think Zach's days are numbered, especially with the signing of this rookie that we got from Texas A&M. I think that's going to be a problem. Keeping
Shamar Turner,
Shamar Turner is going. If that dude shows up, so long, Zach Pickens, and Braxton Jones being here too long, bro. I think he's been here just way too long, bro. At some point, you got to cut the tie, bro. You got to cut the rope, bro. You know, and you should have got rid of him, I think, while the getting was good, but you brought him back for a fourth year. You know, is what.
And the thing about it is that people really they judge Ryan Poles. Yeah, he's made some questionable decisions, but I mean, for most of those runs, I mean, he had to tear the team down completely. Like the first 2 years, he had to tear the team down completely to the studs. And so you really can't count those 2 years, those extra couple years. Like, he was wrong for bringing back Matt Eberflus last year, because I think you and me agreed that him bringing Matt Eberflus back and then him getting rid of Justin Fields was a bad decision, very bad decision. If you're going to get rid of Justin Fields, then you should have
got rid of Eberflus then
as well, because you want your coach to pick, the quarterback, and of course we all know it's going to be Caleb Williams, but
exactly,
it is what it is, But
I mean, so long as the cycle is broken, I'm happy, bro. At some point, some kind of way, they just needed to change this crap up. I know there's a lot of Bears fans who's ready to throw Ryan Poles in the middle of the street and run him over backwards and forwards with a dump truck after last season. But I really don't think Ryan Poles has done a horrendous job, all things being considered, with what he's done over here with the Chicago Bears. He had some hiccups in the road. He made some mistakes, but he got it together. And right now, there's not a Bears fan alive that can tell me that you can look at this team on paper with this coaching staff that we've assembled, and you are not optimistic about the sky being the limit, about how far this Bears team can go. You can't tell me you're not excited about this. Bro, we got Colston Loveland and Luther Burden to go along with DJ Moore and Roma Dunze. That is nasty, bro. And Cole Kmet, he's still in the mix. We got DeAndre Swift, who didn't have a spectacular season, but he had a very solid one and is lightning fast coming out that backfield with a full plethora of comparable talent in the offensive line now. You still got Roshan Johnson over here. You even brought this Cal Monangai dude in who's not fumbled a ball in 4 years in his entire college career. That is nasty work, people. And this is your general manager who's putting this together. Now, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like Ben Johnson didn't have his say, his voice involved in none of this. I'm pretty sure that he did on the offensive end. But, bro, that is nasty work. You still got Montez Sweat on the defensive end. You brought in Tremaine Edmonds. You got TJ Edwards, who was considered a top 10 linebacker in the league last year. Just a ball hawking type of guy. You got great secondary players in Jalen Johnson, Kyler Gordon. I love Tyreek Stevenson if we can just keep his head out the clouds. And then you got Jaquan Brisker back there, bro. You brought in Kevin Byard, bro. I mean, you re-signed
Kyler Gordon. Re-signed Kyler Gordon.
He has put a nice team together. Whether Bears fans want to give him credit for that or not, the man has put a nice team together, bro.
And you know what's so crazy about it is that a lot of like Jay Hood and Cap, I think it was Jay Hood or one of them, they're criticizing the signing because they were saying that why did they sign him like this early? They could have waited. They say they could have waited it out probably after a year or probably during the midseason to see how the team was doing. What do you think about
see, that's the dumb stuff that Bears fans are used to. How many times have we seen other organizations
like Adam Johns, those guys,
try to wait coach out, and then the team goes out there and has a spectacular run, or the players have a great season, or they make a Super Bowl run, and now all of a sudden you can't get that guy to negotiate because he's hot right now and things are going his way, and he's going to wait to the end of the season, and then he's going to try to break the bank on you. It is just smart. It's smart business sense to go on and sign this guy, especially if you believe in what he's building in front of you. You see what you're giving him his coach. His coach has brought in a hell of a coaching staff.
Coaching all-star staff.
That's going to change the entire culture of this organization. And he's constantly adding pivotal players to this organization that could be instant impact players that can help this team go next level. Show me where you need to hurry up and wait until until the middle of the season to get this guy signed. It just made sense. He's going to cost you more if you wait that long.
And you know the part that I love about Ben Johnson and this coaching staff is that they harp on the details, the littlest things, the minor things. If you're off a little bit, if your foot is not in the right set, they'll get on you about that. If you're not motioning the proper way, they'll get on you like that. If you flinch, they're gonna get on you about that. Like that is stuff like that.
That is what quality coaching is supposed to do. It's supposed to expect perfection out of you. They need you to run everything properly. They have a old saying that's known as the 5 P's that says proper preparation prevents poor performance. If you want things to run properly, you have to prepare properly, and that will cause you to prevent performing poorly when you're on the field. That's the way it goes, people. When you look at the Kansas City Chiefs, what do you see very little of when you're watching the Kansas City Chiefs? You don't see a lot of penalties, bro. You don't see a lot of that from the Philadelphia Eagles.
No, you don't.
Look at how these teams play, people. They play darn near mistake-free football when they're rolling. And the penalties is something that is mistake-oriented.
They're drive killers.
That's stuff that the player themselves as individuals can control if they stay within their discipline. And the way you learn to stay in your discipline is you practice properly. You practice properly so that you can perform properly. There's no such thing as you're going to practice poorly and then get out there and perform properly. It doesn't work like that, people. It doesn't work like that. Hey, people, I'm a musician by trade. I can sit and not practice at all on any music that I'm trying to work on or trying to get done or, and what have you. And then when it comes time to perform, I can think I can go out there because I got all these skills and just make it happen. Guess what, people? Not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
Well,
it's going to sound bad. That's why you have rehearsals. That's why you guys do rehearsals every day, to make sure you get ready for the performance. So there's no hiccups. There's no little hiccups.
It's going to be a poor performance because I had poor preparation. Poor preparation comes from not practicing. So I love what Ben Johnson and the guys are bringing to the table. I love this, bro. I love that I'm watching film of Eric Bieniemy yelling at the running backs, and he's asking, "Why are you touching the cones?" What are you doing?
You're running like grandpa.
I love that, bro. That's what the Bears need. That's called structure. They're establishing structure in this team. And with Matt Eberflus, we had absolutely none of that, bro. There was no structure here, bro. There was absolutely none. This is why Tyreek Stevenson, could make the mistake that he made in the Washington Commanders game, and he's still out there the next week. Some teams would have benched him. Quality coaching would have benched him for the next game. You're not playing. You're not playing because you're not ready to play. When we needed you to be ready, you were not prepared. So go prepare yourself, and then maybe in 2 weeks we'll revisit you.
And it costed us that game.
Exactly, a game we had won in our graphs. We beat you, Jaden Daniels. And we gonna win.
And that's not even. And not only that, like Matt Eberflus, like he allowed the team, like when they asked him a question, right, about those extra yards that kind of set up the Hail Mary. He was like saying, "Oh, those yards didn't matter. Oh, it didn't matter." Like
poor coaching right there, bro. Come on, man. Every little inch in the NFL, they tell you all the time, it's a game of inches, bro. And they say that for a reason. Those 5-10 extra yards that you allow Jaden Daniel to give to the receiver and get out of bounds gave him the opportunity to put himself in a position where he has just enough arm strength to get the ball to the end zone. You don't give him them 5-10 yards, guess what? He don't have
it down the field.
That ball is caught at the 5-yard line instead of in the end zone. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? You know, but it's little stuff like that. This is the reason why you need a Ben Johnson, a person who's particular and a stickler and a stickler for the small details. The minor details help you win. You don't believe me? Ask Eric Bieniemy, and has what, 4 Super Bowl rings to his name? I think Eric Bieniemy might know what he's doing, bro. He might know what he's doing. Al Harris, go ask him how important that is, being the secondaries coach. Ask him how important the minor details are to having the right players in the right positions. Al Harris will kill Tyreek Stevenson if he ever does something like he did last year.
He'll nail his ass to the cross, bro. For real.
Him, bro. I'm telling you what I know. That
he will nail him to the cross.
not to mention what Dennis Allen is going to do to him. Dennis Allen might trade the man. He might tell the coach, "Hey man, he got to go, bro. We can't have this on the team." You know, you never know, man. You know, but you know, it's one of them things, man, where you know it's a live and learn thing for Tyreek Stevenson. I'm sure he's learned from it. Hopefully, he'll be the better for it coming into this season. But I love what the Bears are doing. Bears fans, get your hard hats on, get your lunch bill ready. It's gonna be a long season, and I think it's gonna be a good one. 10 to 12 wins. That's the goal. Let's go, people. Playoff berth. Let's go. Let's go. I think we can get there. I think we can get
one
there.
Game at a time.
Yes, sir.
And you know, and we're less than 50 days away from the Chicago Bears first game. That's crazy.
49 to be exact.
49 days away, bro, from 49. Chicago Bears game 1 against the Minnesota Vikings. I think that's a Monday night game. That's
JJ Icy Fish. Come on.
JJ Icy.
I love how these analysts, these so-called analysts out here, are ready to anoint JJ McCarthy above Caleb Williams already in this division. Like, really? You guys never taken an NFL snap and you're ready to give him a victory because you're looking at everything else that's on the Minnesota Vikings. It just amazes me how year to year, how analysts always seem to drop the ball in one way or another. Some analysts believe that regardless of what the Bears had put together, that drafting Caleb Williams was the answer to all the woes. Didn't need no coaching, didn't need nothing else. You brought in Keenan Allen and Caleb Williams. That was good enough. And then they found out how invaluable coaching really is. Now you got analysts who think JJ McCarthy, he's got the QB whisperer and Kevin O'Connell, and he's got this stellar team around him, and that's all that needs to be there for him to win games. Good luck with that, bro. He's never taken a snap in the NFL. You got to figure out if he know how to read a defense and if he can handle some pressure when it comes his way. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing, bro? I'm just saying, what are we doing? These analysts are terrible, bro. They're terrible because they don't look at the totality of a team. You got to look at every aspect. Everything's important on the team. You know how the Bears got to the Super Bowl in 2006? Beyond having a stellar defense and a very solid running game with Thomas Jones, it was really our special teams that took us there, bro. Devin Hester. That dude is unconscionable. And even when they didn't kick the ball there, we were getting the ball at the 40-yard line with a short field for Rex Grossman to have to work with. What are we talking about, bro?
Our special teams and our defense is what led us to the.
Every phase of a team is important, right down to the water boy. What he putting in the Gatorade cups? That's important, bro. That's important, bro. I'm done, bro. I got.
Anyway, guys, I'd like to thank you guys for coming to the podcast, guys. Stay tuned for more. We will be doing more updates in regards to the training camp.
What is this that Theo is asking me?
Theo? He said, "Hey Chuck, who is that running back from the Bears that I do not like?"
I don't know how you know that, brother. Unless you put a name in there. He said the running back that the Bears.
Is it DeAndre Swift or who?
No, it's not DeAndre Swift. I don't know who he's talking about.
Common
I have no idea, Theo. Nephew, I have no idea, man. I don't know. You had to call me on that one, bro. I
don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, thank y'all for coming. I will. Oh yeah, and also shout out to Real Street Sports Talk. I'm going to be on his channel. They're going to be doing NFC North. I think that's what I'm going to be doing. NFC North. Like a duo, like an NFC North content creators.
Yeah.
Have,
Chicago Bears versus Packers people.
We're gonna have Detroit Lions content creators. I'm gonna see if I can get Micro Mike to come on in. We're gonna have Big T Theo, come on and talk about his Packers. And I gotta find a Vikings fan, a Vikings content creator. See if I can reach out to him so we could have all the NFC North content creators, and we're talking about all our teams.
Mello, we need a Vikings content creator. I know you
gotta look for a Vikings content. If you know any Vikings content creator, shout me out. I think I put my email. My email is on the back of my channel. But yeah, shout me out, bro. If you know any Vikings content creators, let me know, man, because I've been trying to look for some.
Yeah. Go on there and represent us well, Cole. Represent, bro.
Yeah. But anyway, guys, thank you guys for coming, to the channel, guys, and stay tuned for more Chicago Bears updates, because there's going to be a lot of content coming. Training camp is starting. I like to see how Ben Johnson, with the pads coming on too, the pads especially coming on this week. There's going to be a lot of competition, a lot of stuff going to be brewing on this upcoming training camp. But that's all the stuff that I have for you guys today. How we always end it over here. Claws up.
Bear down.
All right, guys. Peace.